Hello and welcome back to Objective-C programming course. This is lecture 6 and its first module. In this lecture, we're going to see a few things about foundation we're continuing to explore, then a new mechanism, relatively new, maybe you know about it. It's a key value observing. Then we're going to talk a bit about MVC and how to actually use it, what things does Objective-C and Xcode provides us with, basically Apple provides us with. And then we even going to make a simple iOS application. Okay, well, first things first, I hope you all submitted your project 1, and we are starting to, we are opening the submission for project 2. And as you know, we have 4 projects in this course, and projects 2 through 4, so 2, 3, and 4, will be about building your own application. So project 2 starts today, and for this project, there will be a formal definition, of course, and all the requirements, but basically you're gonna have to come up with an idea for your application, write a full description, not just a couple of words, no translate, a real description as if you're trying to sell me this. Then write all the requirements, everything your application has to do, and basically this is how I'm gonna mark your final application. I'm gonna see if all the requirements are satisfied. And then you have to come up with the interface. So you have to basically open up the interface builder and without writing any code, just put all the buttons, all the text tables and everything whatnot you have, create your interface and submit this package. This will be project 2. Project 3 will be building your application. So I'm not sure how I'm going to mark it, but basically you're gonna have to start writing and write most of the code for your application. And project 4, the last one, you will continue and finish building your application, you will test it, and you will present it in some way. So project 4 is basically you selling me your application, and if I like it, I want to buy it, this means a good mark for you. This application could be for OS X or iOS. As you know, this course mostly covers OS X, but as you will see in this lecture and in following lectures, iOS is not much difference. There are different things, but you get the most fundamental idea and all the knowledge you need to start building iOS applications. So there won't be much trouble if you decide to create an application for an iPhone or iPad, and any type of application are welcome. The most fundamental, the most important thing for your application for the final project, project 4, is your app must be executable. It will be marked 0 unless it runs. So it might not be complete, it might be ugly, it might be stupid, but it has to run, it has to be executable. English language is the language of your application unless your application is all about languages. So if your application is, let's say, a dictionary, then of course it will have some other languages. And if it's, say, a Russian Kazakh dictionary, then there won't be any English. But unless your application actually requires other languages, everything should be in English. And by the end of this course, so around the time of submitting assignment 3 or between 3 and 4, we will talk about how to publish your applications on the App Store, both OS X and iOS applications. So if you really come up with something great, or you just happen to decide to publish your application, even if it's not too great, but I hope they all be great, you will be able to publish them and maybe even make money on this. Okay, so this is module 1. We're going to talk a bit about foundation. This is the most boring part of this lecture, but bear with me. 3 things that we need to cover. First is fast enumeration. So idea is simple. When you have something like an array, a dictionary, basically some structure with a lot of elements, then you often have to go through all the elements and maybe print them, maybe get some information, whatever. Basically, when you want to do this in languages that doesn't have fast enumeration technique, you create an index variable, which is basically an integer, and you just go on through the array or through the dictionary using this index and incrementing this index. You all did this probably in the first couple of weeks of your university in this program. If a language has some sort of fast enumeration like Objective-C does, then there will be something like this. Here we have an example of an array with 4 strings, and you can just say for some element in my array, do something. And inside this loop, you're gonna have this element object, and that would be the value of your array. And each step of the loop, the value will be corresponding to the actual value from your array. So this is just a time saver. Instead of making another loop with index and incrementing and keeping track of these numbers, you just have a simpler way. This is not a super revolutionary feature, but this is something that saves time. Another thing is, two actually things we're going to talk about is 2 data types. One of them is a dictionary. And if you were in some sort of algorithms course or just data structures course, you know what dictionary is. It's just a collection of values by keys. And the keys should be unique. And this is the idea. So if you have a journal of students and each student has a unique student ID, which is a number, then the ID is the key and the name of the student is the value. So there might be that 2 students or even more students have the same name, and this is fine because values can be the same. The idea is they have unique keys, and keys is what makes them distinguishable. So a dictionary is a simple data structure that allows you to create structures like this, the key and the value. And again, as all the other structures like this and many other NS next step based data types or classes in Objective-C, they could be just a dictionary and they could be mutable dictionary. Just a dictionary, just like a just array or just NS string, could not be changed in any way after you create and initialize them. So this first line, you see an example of creating a dictionary like this. We are creating NS dictionary, and those are the keys and the values. So first one is the value, and we have just the name of the book, and the key for that name is, this is probably an ISBN number or just some number, a unique number for this book. And if we want to create a mutable dictionary, then we can create new objects after we initialized our dictionary. So for this, we have the set object column for key column. And if this key already exists, then this command will replace the value. There might not be any duplicate keys for dictionaries. There are many commands, many accessors you have for dictionaries, and if you just start typing my dictionary space, you will see those escape completion suggestions, and some of them is just to getting the key and removing the key and just removing all the objects. You might see all the examples here or in your Xcode or on the website. Okay, the last thing is the set. And if you know what set is, then this won't be anything new to you. But if you're not familiar with the set theory, then this is still simple. A set is just a collection of items. It's just a collection of data. Unlike dictionary, it doesn't have any keys. So in a set, there could not be any duplicate things because there are no keys to distinguish them. So if you just have a journal of students and 2 students have the same name, this is bad. This is not a proper set because you won't be able to distinguish between 2 students. So everything in a set should be unique. There's no order in a set. And here you can see a Venn diagram and 2 main concepts about the sets, at least two of which I want to talk to you about, are presented here. So this red, or I say orange circle, is the set of all the things in this course. And let's say you studied it pretty hard, but not completely, so you studied most of it, like 70%. So this, the inside circle, is the things that you studied. And we can say that the things that you studied is a subset of all the things in the course, because it includes some of the things that are in the course, but nothing outside the course. And here is the circle that is describing everything we have on the final exam. And another important thing why I added this is we have this small intersection. And this is exactly how it's called, the intersection of two sets. And this is that elements that are present in both sets, the sets things in the course and things on the exam. So Objective-C has a class and a set, and it's really easy to use it because it has basically everything you need for working with set theory. So this is how you create a set. I created two sets, my set and your set. First I made, and you can put any objects in a set. So I put a string, a simple integer, some other object I created before, and this is of course the end of the set. So I have a count message. I can get the number of elements in my set. I can get a boolean of is my set a subset of some other set, and in this example my set is not a subset of your set because it has completely different values, so it will be false. We can set the equalness, so if they are exactly the same, but order doesn't matter. So if I created two sets with the same objects inside but in different order, those sets will still be equal. So this would be true, but in this case it's false. If I have some intersection, meaning I have at least one object that is present in both sets, then this intersect set, a boolean, will be true. And I can get the object if it is the member of a set. So here I'm getting is some string a member of my set, and I see it's right here, so it is, and this call will return us the string, some string. Okay, this is it for module 1. See you in module 2.